Okay, so most people are going to be able to see where I'm going with this based on the previous video I did. The cover work is the exact same. It was an interview I did with a woman. Now, she did not know what gang stalking was. She never heard of gang stalking before we spoke. And gang stalking is very mystifying for somebody who's never heard of it. So the average person could be made to gang stalk somebody without even knowing they're gang stalking the person, right? Now, if somebody gang stalks somebody for a while, it's been going on for a while, they know they're stalking the person. They're going to know they're gang stalking somebody. But for the average individual walking the streets, the first few times they do it, they're not really going to be too sure what's going on. Now, I wanted to ask somebody forward, would they gang stalk me? Now, I sent this woman a link to my documentary video outlining what it's like to go through gang stalking. I'm walking down the street, I see somebody, give them a flyer, tell them what gang stalking is. The assignments are steady going, the brightening, the color coding, all the tactics. So upon the woman, she's a friend of mine, reviewing the video, she was able to get a glimpse into what gang stalking looks like. Now, for her to become familiar with it, she would have to analyze it in a lot more detail, but she saw enough just to get a glimpse of it. So my main focus was to get the person to see the harmful effects of gang stalking, what it looks like to me. Now, the average person walking the street is materialistic. You throw them a couple dollars, they'll do anything. World's been that way. So it's not hard to get somebody to gang stalk somebody. They're not going to care too much about what it means to you anyway. If they care, they're not going to care nothing about it. They want their little scraps and to get on. They want their little biscuit. But for the person who's getting stalked every single day, they know what it feels like and they know what it's about. So the whole message of would you gang stalk me was to get somebody to get a glimpse into what the individual is going through. And to ask them, if you know that this person's being drugged, if they're having electronic weapons, if they're being group stalked for multiple periods of time, are you going to add on to that? There are people out there walking the streets, believe it or not, once they know the harmful effects, they would not gang stalk somebody. There's going to be a lot of people who don't care either way. Or they're going to think, well, if I just do this little assignment, my phone's showing me where to go. It's simple. All I got to do is drive by the corner wearing a shirt. It's not a big deal. There's a lot of people who are just going to say that. But there are some people who will say, wait a minute. You're talking about an individual who is being covertly drugged, electronic weapons, being stalked 24/7 by multiple people, being told they're crazy. There's some people out there that say that's too much. I'm straight on it. I'm not doing it. That's too much. I don't want to participate in that. Once they see the destruction of it and the lives that this demonic energy has affected over the years, it's a lot harder for them to do what they're doing now than it used to be 20 years ago, 30 years ago, especially 30, 40 years ago. It was much easier. It's gotten more difficult for this thing to work on people. So the desperateness of it has went up. You see people getting gang stalked in large numbers 24/7. It's desperate now. It's like, I'm not religious, but it's like in the last days when it was talking about, in the book of Revelations was talking about Satan, the devil is just, they know they're in their last phases. So they're trying to just get everybody, agitate the hell out of everybody. And there's people out there walking the streets who would not gang stalk somebody. And so, through my experience of gang stalking, it doesn't really look like anything special to me. You follow somebody around, you wear a red shirt, you don't have to have much of an education. You can be I've seen people on drugs high. I had somebody who was on drugs high gang stalking me with no driver's license, no license plate, high off of drugs. Anybody can do it. The only reason it's there is to agitate the heck out of the person and distract the person. That's why it's so easy for anybody to be able to do it. Because its only purpose is to harass the person. See? So, this interview to me set off something for me, talking to people who have not been gang stalking me. And to get them to see what's going on, the effects it causes, and ask them, would you gang stalk me? Now, it's really, it's really quite a thing. I like to get a few more people into it. And I like to get people in person and show them in person what's going on. Look at the brightening. Look at the color coding. Look at these effects. And see what type of thing it does. One of the biggest issues with explaining this stuff to people is a lot of people are going to think, you're being gang stalked. How do these people know where you're at all the time? How is somebody following you all the time? Yada, yada, yada. There's new information coming out through the mainstream. The information's been out for years, but now it's starting to come out through the mainstream more and more and more. There's spy technology. Anybody can get it if they got the money. The people who are monitoring you and orchestrated gang stalking the most, you're not going to so much see those individuals as much. The people that you see aren't really necessarily monitoring you. They're just told what to do, what to have on, where to go, do their little circus performances and all that, and be done. So there's technology out there like Skywatch, or Skynet, or whatever it's called, where you can watch somebody in real time through the satellites. So you can have somebody sitting there watching somebody 24/7, and that's their job. It's just to watch somebody. And then it's set up to make sure when this person goes over here, orchestrate the assignments in this area. When this person goes over there, orchestrate the assignments in that area. And the people doing the assignments is sent straight to their phone. So where you go, the gang stalking goes. It's orchestrated in this fashion. So it's not a bunch of crazy people, who are just, hiding on like the old movies where the guy's smoking the cigarette, butts hiding outside your house, and you go outside and find all the cigarette butts, and he's been there all night. No, this is 2018. There's technology involved in this stuff. It's a technocratic type of group stalking, and so it's demonic. It's demonic. I'll be the first one to say that. With me, it's God over everything, and I'm not even religious. I'm spiritual. Whether you believe in Jesus, Allah, Jehovah, Buddha, Krishna, Jacob, Abraham, Mary, Mother, I don't care where you're at with it, but I'm with source energy. And the gang stalking is demonic. It's based off of money. Anyway, favors, money, gifts. That's greed, that's sin. So if I need $100 and I can't get it my own way, and I gotta stalk somebody and harass somebody to get that $100, that's demonic. That's a demonic agreement. That's demonic in the ether. That's energetic. And what they put out comes back. So the more demonic activity they get into, the more the demonic activity comes back to them. But the devil is never around to help anybody. And when I say devil, I'm just talking about dark energy, an evil energy. It's there to manipulate. That energy doesn't care about people. That energy doesn't care about men or women. It's just an energy that's there to do its own bidding, its own work. It doesn't care about the people it uses. The demonic entities behind that energy, they're in the spiritual realm. They have lifetimes of thousands of years and stuff like that. They don't care about one person's life on earth. That doesn't mean anything to them. They use who they got to use to do the things they got to do. Then they're done. And they'll tell you anything. There's people walking around worshiping the devil that think when they die, they're going to be some sort of leader in some sort of demonic kingdom or something like that. People believe anything. There's dope dealers on the street that'll tell anybody anything just to sell them that dope. You know, so recognizing that this is spiritual warfare and it's a demonic energy that's using people, using money, using these commodities to orchestrate this stuff through technological systems, through individuals, through groups. You know, and a lot of people ask, how could it get that way? For once, look at where the people are coming from. They don't even have prayer in the schools. Now, I'm not religious, but I don't see nothing wrong with people being able to pray in a school. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, no matter what their religion is. People can't even pray. There's no spirit. There's an empty vessel there. 80% of these Christians are fake. They're empty vessels. There's nothing there. And that's how the demonic energy is able to manipulate these churches and these people to do these evil deeds. Because the vessel is empty. And all people who practice the dark arts know that. They know how to manipulate somebody who wants to be spiritual. They know how to manipulate an individual into giving up who they are, into giving up their life and letting that demonic energy in. They know exactly how to do it. They know if the person's vessel is weak, they can enter it. They convince the person that there is no God, God's not real, it doesn't exist, and they get the person to give up their protection. They talk the person out of their protection, then they enter. And that's what's going on. Now, part of my message to people when I talk to them about gang stalking, put the gang stalking aside. People need to realize that there's something bigger going on and get real with their life. The gang stalking is an opportunity to see a much bigger picture. You know, that's an opportunity to see a much bigger picture. And I feel bad for the people who are living in so much fear. You know, people are living in so much fear of being gang stalked or whatever else is going on in their life. And they don't have any interest at all in empowering themselves. They've tricked themselves into the victim role. A lot of people who get gang stalked are living the life of a victim. And that's the wrong way to go about it. What you put out comes back. That's the wrong way to go about it. You know? That's definitely the wrong way to go about it. And so I invite people who don't know what gang stalking is to look into it. And for the people who do know what gang stalking is, you know what it's like to go through it if you're going through it. And there's a big illusion with a lot of people with the gang stalking stuff. It's tricking people into think that there's nothing that they can do. That this gang stalking stuff is stalking people. There's nothing they can do, and there's people who are more powerful than them that are stalking them, and that they're victims, and that everybody else has all the answers. Nobody else has all the answers to anything. The universe can pull a fast one on anybody at any time. So that's why I invite people, put the real God first. Talk to the real God. And that's what. See, I'm an esoteric researcher. I've been studying the unknown and the paranormal for years. Channeling, astrology, all that stuff. There's a higher spiritual force in the universe. This gang stalking stuff is not. This gang stalking stuff is it's like an imitation. They're trying to be like the real power. They're trying to imitate the real power in the universe. That's what all this strange stuff is. You know, people waking up in the morning and getting text messages sent to their phone, people telling them they know where they ate at, they know where they live and all this stuff. That's a demonic energy trying to mimic the real power in the universe. Why would anybody feel so threatened by some guy off the streets, walking the streets? Why all these people around the world getting gang stalked? Who feels paranoid and threatened by them? The gang stalking stuff is coming from an extremely paranoid perspective. Who the hell would be so paranoid of all these people? It's a it's a paranoia, is what it is. They're paranoid of people waking up. It's a gang. That's what gang stalking is a wake up call for the people who haven't woken up yet. Letting you know that there's something wrong going on.